All right, what's up, everybody? Professor Keith back again. Crypto After Dark Node Edition. So we're going to work on making a Flux node today. Yes, there's already a video out about this. However, it's kind of dated, and there's some different features that have changed, and some different prompts that have changed, so forth and so on. And I want to kind of explain and go through what it took for me to get this set up and what it's going to take for you to do the same thing. There was quite a little bit of frustration involved with me on this one. It didn't go as smoothly as I wanted it to, and I ended up having to talk to one of the devs a little bit, help me get it sorted out. Wasn't a big deal, just took a little bit of time that I didn't understand that it was going to take that much time as it did. So I'm going to jump off the camera here, and we're going to flip over into a little bit of slideshow, talking about what we need, what we don't need, going to the different websites that you're going to be using, and then we'll get into how we make the node. Okay? All right, let's get started. All right, camera off here, and let's get rolling. First things first. There we go. So this is going to be our Flux node how-to. I am Carolina Keith. If you have any information that you think might be helpful, let me know. If you have any questions, hey, shoot them down in the comments, and we'll try to get to every single one of them. You know how I am. I try to answer everything. Here's some things that you'll need, some useful information. All right. I'm running a Contabo VPS 300 that you can get right there on the website. We'll pull that up so you can see it. It's about $70 a year. I paid for the year up front. You can do 6 months or a month, however you'd like. I just paid for the whole year up front. It come out a little cheaper that way. The Zelcore wallet that we're going to be using, right there's the website, https://zelcore.io/. All right, so there might be backslash, whatever, backslashes, forward slashes. You can see it on the screen. I don't really care. That's important because this is the wallet we'll be using, which is actually a really cool wallet, and I didn't know it had all the cool features it had till I got in it and started using it, and I kind of like it. So that's something else you'll have to have. For this, you'll need a minimum of 10,000 Flux tokens. You can do more than that if you'd like. There's 3 different tiers of nodes. I'll be doing the lower tier node. I've already got one running, and I'm going to show you the second one. You can get that on your Zelle wallet, where you can swap through the Zelle wallet, or you can just get it on KuCoin like I did. I bought it on KuCoin, and I transferred it in. It popped right up in my wallet after a little bit of time. No big deal. Right now, the coin's about 28 cents, so 10,000 times that is $2,800. And also, we'll be using Putty to import our codes and put our stuff in that we need to get the node actually running on the blockchain. That'll be through putty.org, just like in the pre-search node videos and in the SRX node video, okay? And like I said right here, as of today, the prices may change. Don't get salty with me if things go up or down, all right? That's not on me. We'll also show you the chart here if you'd like. But this is the first part of this, the useful information that you kind of needed to know. All right, here's our rewards, how much you can make. Obviously, I'll be doing the Cumulus node, which is the lowest tier. See, it says 10,000 Flux needed, 25 Flux for the Nimbus node, and 100,000 Flux for the Stratus. You'll notice that the APY goes down on the upper ones, but you can also stake apps and you get other rewards along with those. So it's a little different. Even though it looks like you're getting less, I think overall you may come out better. I didn't want to do that. I just did the lowest tier. 11 Flux a day is what you're going to make. You can do the math on that at 28 cents and see what that comes out to. Okay, it's roughly $3.50, $4, something like that. Obviously per week and per month are listed there. You pick the one you want to do. I'll be doing the 10,000 Flux token one. All right, so let's get on into what we need to download and what we need to find. All right, if we go to zelcore.io, which is what I told you right here on the presentation page, this is where we're going to download our wallet. You click try it now. Obviously, it takes you and lets you pick where you want to do it. Okay. I'm using Windows, so I've already downloaded this from Windows right here for you, and we'll pull up my Zelle wallet now. Okay, this is my Zelle wallet. As you see, right now I have 2,899 USD in there, right? I have 10,389 Flux. What I did to get that Flux, all right, you go to grid up here. You can actually add assets, obviously. So I've already added Flux. All right, I've actually got XLM and XRP up here also. If I'd like to, I can send in those tokens here and then exchange them on the wallet and get something else, aka Flux. and use that to do my node with. Now, I just bought it on KuCoin and moved it straight over. It was no big deal. Okay, it took like 5 minutes for it to show up. No sweat. You'll need exactly the number of tokens that it asks for. Okay, not more or less. It has to be exactly the number. And we'll get to that in a minute, but I thought I would show you what it looks like to actually hit your wallet. All right. So what you're seeing here is, if you go to portfolio over here on the left, this is your actual amount of money that you have in there. It tells you, incoming, blah, blah, blah. There's all kind of really cool features. You can set up retirement accounts. You can set up a scholarship account, and it'll separate it for you into different wallet sections. It's really kind of neat, right? It's a neat little feature. We're not going to be too worried about that. What we're going to be doing is going through and setting up nodes here, right? So I've already got one node running, and we'll show you that here in a second and how that looks. So first thing we do is we click on Flux after we've got our tokens in there, okay? So at this point, you've transferred your tokens in. And I'll actually show you right here. It says receive, send, exchange, blah, blah. You click receive and your wallet address will pop up here. And you can go to KuCoin and just scan your address, and obviously it'll send it right over. It's just like any other exchange, right? If you want to send it off, like you got a bunch of rewards, you want to cash them in, you're free to put all your contact information in here for your other addresses that you're going to send it off to. It'll fire right up and work great. All right. We're not going to do any of that right now. We're going to go to more. And if you look here, you'll see full node pops up. That's what I'm going to click on. It says due to Zelcore, blah, 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 blah. Okay. No sweat. We're not too much worried about this. It's going to ask you to back stuff up. That's fine. Obviously, this stuff will pop up here to see Zcash verified. It's popping up, all kinds of stuff. Let it do its thing. I've already backed all my information up, so I'm good to go. No sweat. The only thing you'll notice here is once you've got this wallet pulled up and you put your tokens in, you're going to see this thing takes a little bit of time to do everything. Now, this is what totally threw me off. All right. I wasn't prepared for this, and it messed me up. I thought, gosh, I'm doing something wrong, or things aren't working right. Okay. It was actually incorrect. Things were working just fine. It just took me a while to figure out what I was doing wrong. Okay. All right. So you can see that I've already got some transactions down here where I received my Flux. Don't worry about that right now. It's not that important to you. You won't have any of this down here right now. So there's a couple very, very important things. Number one, right here where it says date, September 4th, 2021. Obviously, this is correct for me. Okay. It's not going to be correct for you when you turn it on. What you're going to have happen is this is going to be way off. And this synced will not say 100%. Okay. So you see mine right now wasn't 100% at first. Now it is. It just fully synced for the rest of the day. I had this off while I wasn't over here in my office here. But now that I've come in and turned it on, it's went to 100%. It took this probably 18 hours for it to fully sync right here. That was frustrating. Okay. And it threw me off big time. Whatever you deposit into here will not show up. Will not show up until this is at 100% and this is fully synced. Okay. Very important step that got missed that I wasn't aware of. So now we're going to work on getting our funds moved from our regular portfolio wallet over to our node wallet. And this one's separate, right? So I have receiving addresses here for myself. So you can actually send your rewards off right here when your rewards come in, or you can receive the tokens to set up another node. All right. I'm going to go to receiving address, and I've got all these addresses set up. I put in extra ones because I wanted to maybe set up later ones down the road. But I used this one right here at first. You see that? I'm going to use that same one again because I want all my rewards to go into one wallet. But obviously, you're not going to have all this up here. You want at least one or two. I got a bunch. Really up to you if you can have one or two if you want, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay? So this is where I'm going to send my tokens from my portfolio wallet over to here. So I'm going to copy this. Obviously, you see it says popped up here, copy. Let's go back to our portfolio. It says exit full node. Yes, we're going to exit our full node. And what you'll see is here is it encrypts everything. It's perfectly cool. You need to do that so it doesn't corrupt the wallet. There's nothing wrong with that. So go to our Flux here. We're going to send. All right. Here's our address that we just had. I just right clicked, popped up. And what's really cool is over here in choose contact, you'll have all these different ones over here. You'll notice that this TLJ one right here is one of these over here. I forget which one it is. but it's pretty neat. These wallets kind of sync up and you can create new ones. All right. I'm not going to do that right now. I've obviously already took care of this for myself. We're good to go. You can create one if you'd like. So I've got my address in here for the node wallet where I want my funds to go. Fair? Fair. All right. So I need 10,000 Flux over there. Okay. So I'm going to type in exactly 10,000 Flux. Not only that, I'm going to make sure I switch this fee to absolutely 0. We don't want to lose any of this. It's not going to hurt anything. It's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Make sure it's on 0. Okay. Obviously, I'm going to send 10,000 to this address. Let's do a send. Proceed with transaction. Yes, I want to proceed. Transaction sent. All right. It even gives me an ID, just like an Etherscan, only this is an Etherscan. Okay. It's on Flux network. All right. As we see here, we'll go back to our full node. Launch full node. Again, it goes through our steps again. No big deal. You're going to do this every time. You may bounce back and forth a little bit at first. This is the worst part of all of it. Okay. This is the most complicated part. Is I wasn't prepared for the things I had to do inside the wallet. Setting up the codes in Putty was actually fairly simple and straightforward. Okay. It's just, it was frustrating for me at first trying to get to work and it didn't want to go and it didn't want to go. Okay. All right. So I'm still waiting. Oh, look right here. I have Flux nodes. I have 10,000 Flux. I have 2,787 worth. Okay. Sweet. I have some. And if you look right here, that's actually what I used to have. I have that in my whole wallet, but it hasn't got over here yet. It will soon. When it gets here, it'll obviously show up down here in my transactions. It'll be no sweat. So in the meantime, let's go get our, actually it just popped up. Look right there, 10,000 Flux, 2787.47. All right. So we've got our money in our wallet over here on our node. We are synced 100%. And remember what I said, it will not work unless this syncs 100%. Okay. Won't do it. Too bad, so sad, you've got to wait. This is why I say leave it open and let it build its blocks up. Took all this time to do all this. It was frustrating. Also, you cannot use this for about 6 minutes, okay? And that's got to build up some time on the blocks before it's able to unlock it. Just trust me on this and don't argue with it. This is going to take some time to set up. Sit back. You should have already had a beer because you know how we do it here, and relax, okay? Now, I'm going to minimize this and we'll go over to our Contabo stuff. This is the one I used. I went to Contabo Storage VPS. It's right here, Storage VPS. This is the one I used, VPS 300. You select it, you pay for it. I did the whole year, 12 months, okay? I put in all my info. Ubuntu 20.04 is what you want to use. You don't want to use these other ones. You want to use this one, okay? You go through and pay how you want. I paid with crypto via a crypto.com debit card, all right? Pretty dope. So what we need now is we need to get Putty downloaded. Got you already. Putty right here. Putty.org. We're going to download this one. It's going to kick us over to a different page. And I did 64-bit. It's up to you to do what's on your computer and what you got. If you don't understand that, you can go through your computer and figure out which kind of system you have. I have this one, so I did the 64-bit. I've already got it downloaded, okay? So we don't need this page up anymore. This is where we actually downloaded from. Get rid of that one. That's our VPS page. We've already looked at that. Let's get rid of that one. All right. Now I'm going to pull up my email, but I'm going to pull it up off screen because what you're going to see here, well, actually I'll tell you what I'll do. First thing I'll show you is that, you're going to get something that looks like this. Thank you for choosing Contabo. We appreciate your business, right? Shortly after that, you'll get another email with your IP address and your password. Crucial that you know this. Screenshot it, write it down, all that good jazz. You're going to need it. All right? I'm not going to pull that up on my screen because that's my personal information, but I am going to flip it over to the other screen here so that I can use it to show you what to do here. All right. I've just bought this one today. I haven't even opened it up yet. I'm just now seeing it for the first time. So I've already downloaded Putty. I'm going to type in Putty right here on my computer. Putty pops up. Host name, IP address. Okay, this is where our IP address from our VPS goes. I'm going to put mine in over here. I'm going to do a save session as node 2. Right there, save my session. I'm going to move this over here so you don't see what my number is. I'm going to right click paste in the host name IP address section that I just showed you. I'm going to click open. It asks me, do I want to accept this once? I'm going to accept it all the time. No big deal to me. Log in as. All right. So that means we have successfully used our correct IP address. And now we need to start logging in. All right. We're always going to, not always, for now, we're going to log in as root or OOT. Enter. Ask for our password. What I just told you right over here is you're going to get an IP address and a password. I'm going to right click and copy my password. This is the tricky part. It's not going to show my password up here, but I'm going to right click right here on this green. My password is in there and I'm going to hit enter. And if you give it a second, she'll take off and go. There we go. All right. Now our Contabo IP is up and running with our putty and they're communicating. Okay, sweet. So you won't need that information unless you want to get back in and fiddle with it some more. Okay. Now, on to the next part. We need our code to put in so that we can get this node started. All right. We get that from this page here. This medium.com, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm going to put this in the description of the video so you'll have the same information. You're going to copy it and save it into a notepad like I did here. Okay. I've already got the copy. I'm not going to do it again, but I also wrote down right here, you're obviously going to need this, blah, blah, blah. Okay. If you want to, you can highlight it right here. That's what I'm going to do. Copy. Pull my putty back up. Right click and hit enter. This is all going to take a minute. You can't rush it. It's going to do its thing. And we wait. So what I'll do is I'll pop in here for a second. I'll clip in and clip out until it makes its steps and does its thing. All right, sweet. So as you see, we've got our stuff pulled up here and it's showing what we're needing to do now. After I took like maybe 3 minutes, took a little while. I'm going to go with option 1 right here, install Docker. Okay, I'm going to click here, click here, hit 1 and enter. Enter my username. This is going to be the username that I have, that I'm going to use throughout this. So make it something you can remember and write it down, okay? I know what I'm going to make mine. I make mine all the same, so I don't forget them, okay? Now, you can hit enter or you can hit the down arrow here. Obviously, I'm just going to hit the down arrow, hit OK. And it's going to start running code. Ask me for my password. You need to create your own password. Write it down, okay? Make sure you got it the way you want it. It will not show up. I promise you are typing it. See, there it says password updated successfully and off the code goes. Okay. Pretty neat. So it's going to take a little bit to do its thing. It's going to bounce around and run code. You've seen me do this on SRX and pre-search before. Same thing happens here. Okay. Got to wait a little bit. I'll let it run its code and I'll be right back. All right, good news. So everything ran. As you see, it says installing Docker. And then it says, like everything installed. Good. Running through some checks. Docker is installed. Would you like to switch to user account? And our answer to that is going to be yes. So just hit Y and enter. All right, now it's got my name up here. All right, so instead of being under root, now we're under my name. All right, so now we're going to do the very same thing we done a minute ago with the code. All right, I'm going to go back to that page, which is right here. Click copy and paste it again. Right click, enter, and off we go. All right, it asks me It takes me back to this screen. What would we like to do? And instead of doing number 1, now we're going to number 2, which is install Flux node. 2 and enter. Install Flux node. Ask me for my password. Remember that password you just set up? Well, here's your opportunity to put it in. And here we go. Now this is going to take a while. It's going to dance around and do a bunch of crap. I'm going to show you right here in a second what also confused me while we talk. This part threw me a curveball and I couldn't understand why I wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. It starts doing this thing where it says syncing and it just throws up the same code over and over and over again. It's okay. It's working, I promise. It's just a curveball. All right. So right now it asked me, it detected 22 from my port. This was the putty thing that I put in at the very, very beginning. When I put my IP address in the very, very, very beginning, I moved it off the screen. Port 22 is what we're using. It's just hit enter. Installing packages. Could take a while. Let's go back and check our Zelle Core wallet. We do have our money in there. That's great. And we're going to give it a little bit. Right over here at this little wizard symbol, you see it says it provides an easy to use step-by-step walkthrough guide on setting up a node. All right, that's what we're going to hit. We're going to hit the wizard. All right. Before configuring a new Flux node, please back up your existing addresses. You may back up every private key by dumping your wallet to a desired location, or you can back up private keys for a single address. I've already backed mine up, okay? So I'm going to skip this process, but you should probably back everything up to your desktop, okay? Which one would I like to set up? This will not work unless you have the funds over here, okay? I'm doing a Cumulus. All right, I've already set my putty stuff up. Obviously, it's picked it up. If it doesn't pick it up, it'll say right here, cannot locate, okay? I've obviously ready to rock here. Enter my Flux code private key generated by Zelle Core. This is why I stopped where I was, okay? This is Putty trying to ask me to give me my private key. Well, I don't have it yet, do I? So now I need to work on this end. Enter the IP port address for your Flux node server. This is the thing that you got from Contabo, okay? This is the address you got from Contabo. I've got mine pulled up over here on the right, so I'm going to type it in now. It's important that you leave the colon 16125 up there. Your IP address that you got from Contabo plus your 16125. Okay? Next step. Now, here are your lists of available outputs that are not in use. Click on an output to use it for setting up a Cumulus node, okay? You're good to go. So right here's where we're going to click. It says click on your output. Enter the Flux node's name. All right, I already have one, so I'm going to name this one something different. Carolina Keith node 2. Continue the setup. Now, here's a really, really sweet part. All right, this is your what it's asking for on the other screen. Is our private key, our transaction ID, and our index will be 0. Okay. Save this. I'm actually going to screenshot this right now. Just did it. Now I'm going to save this for my own personal needs over in my vault, and it'll be there forever. Okay. You're going to copy all of this. If you just hover over it, it'll copy. Okay. So I'm going to take up my notepad right here. Exit out. I'm going to copy. And I'm going to type in private key. And I'm going to paste. There. I'm going to do transaction ID. I'm going to do the same thing for that. Copy. I'm going to paste it right here. And then our port index is 0. Sometimes it'll be 1. So you need to make sure you got that right. Okay. So 0 right there. There was our transaction ID and our private key info. So it's asking me for my private key over here on on our putty. Now we have it. So we'll click that, and we'll right click, arrow down, enter. Transaction ID. Isn't that interesting that we just set that up? All right, copy that, right click, arrow down, enter. Either it's 0 or 1. See that? It's asking me. Ours was 0. Arrow down, enter. And it's going to go into some more code. Boring. Sorry, but I told you this is going to be time consuming and frustrating. Luckily, what's going on here right now is 1,000 times better than what happened to me the first time. So I screwed up, and I tried to do my research, and things just didn't work out for me. So it's going to work out way better for you now, okay? If you look closely here, you can actually see that it's running tests, bench tests, parameters, all this good stuff. It's doing it for us. It checked our port ID right here. Great. Checking our things, doing our own stuff for us. Installing Z-Snark parameters. This is going to take a while. We'll jump back on in a second. Real quick also, that last screen that said save and continue, that's what I did. I clicked save and continue, and then this popped up, okay? This is just telling us our configuration files and everything else. We're not going to activate this node yet because we're not done over in Putty. So we'll X out of this, and we'll wait, okay? All right, as you see, we're still waiting. Our code hasn't finished running, but down here, you see Carolina Keith Node 2 popped up, and it says offline. Perfect. It's picked up our code. Our wallet is starting to sync now. We're doing something good, okay? Look what pops up right as I said that. It's asking us, how are we ready to go now? And we're ready to go. So we're going to select option 1 on this. Don't argue with me. Just hit enter. Now it's starting to run our bootstrap file. It even tells you estimated time, 8 minutes. We're not going to sit here for 8 minutes, folks. So I'll be right back once it gets done. Good news, everything went along as planned. So it's asking me now, would I like to remove my bootstrap archive file? Just hit yes. And it's back to this again. I wanted to show you each step, and I didn't want to miss any, okay? Creating Flux daemon service. Move that up there where you can see it a little bit. I'll make this a little bigger. There we go. A little better. Yeah, there we go. Configuring firewall. Still dancing around. Give it some more time here, and you'll start to see. I'll pull it back up when it starts doing the crazy code thing I was talking about, and you'll see what I mean. So it's going to throw you off too. It's been about 17 minutes since the last little clip I did. That's how long this takes. I told you it'd be frustrating. Nothing you can do. Now it says sysbench installing. This is good news though, because everything's going through the steps that you want to see it go through. I know my green screen's clipping behind me right here a little bit, but I'm kind of reconfiguring some things in the office here. I got a different liquor cabinet coming, which is what you see the top of, right there is the top of liquor bottles. So while this runs, I'm having a beer. It's 1 a.m. We'll just keep letting this run until it gets done. I'll be right back. Hey, one other quick point of interest. There's going to be some things in here that aren't listed that are going to say things like, would you like to connect your Telegram? Would you like to connect your Discord? I just selected no to all those, and you're not going to see those in here because I've already selected no for the first node that I did. It's up to you to decide if you want those or don't want those. I chose not to. You may want to. If you do that, there's going to be some extra steps. I tried to eliminate as many steps as I could. Exciting news. We got another step. So now it's asking me to enter my Zelle ID from Zelcore. Apps, Zelle ID, click QR code. All right, I'm going to show you where that's at now. Let's go to our Zelle wallet. Over here on the right, you got a thumbprint, signed message. This is our Zelle ID, okay? Easy signing of messages with your Zelle ID. So we're going to copy this. X out. Pick up your putty, right click. Arrow down, okay. Are you planning to run a Cadena node? No, I am not. This is one of the steps that are not on the old video, okay? No, I'm not planning on running a Cadena node, so I'm going to arrow over and hit enter. As you see, my code's been running in the background here. Flux ID installed. Zelle ID is valid. Removed any mongod bees. Starting daemon in sync. This is going to be the weird part. It's going to keep popping this message up right here. And it's going to stream through over and over and over again. It'll be the same thing. It's wicked as hell. It says 3 minutes. Mine took more like 5. But I didn't understand what the hell was going on at first. So when it's done, we'll be back. All right, that actually went faster than I thought it did. It kind of popped up while I wasn't looking because I was drinking a beer. So it asked me, do I want to install a watchdog? And I absolutely do. What this will do is it'll automatically try to restart something if something goes wrong. So I want that installed. So enter. All right, and that finalizing installation. Be patient. This will take about 5 minutes. So guess what? We'll be back in 5 minutes. It's actually probably going to be a little longer than that. Said that before. So real quick, if you see this screen, I'm going to cut this in and put this in somewhere. This is totally normal. I know it looks odd. And the screen is replicating over and over and over and over again. This is correct. This is what you actually want to see. Threw me off, and just bear with it. This takes about a few minutes, and then it's going to switch over and say we're going to start in 5 minutes. Then we'll be ready to rock. All right. Excellent news. As you see, installation completed. It took a while. It danced around and did its thing, and then bam, popped this up. Installation completed. It looked like there may have been some issues with my benchmark, so I'm going to run a benchmark test off of this. So you don't have to do that, but sometimes it happens with Contabo. They warn you the Contabo VPSs may have benchmark issues, which means the VPS is moving a little too slow. You have to email them and tell them to speed it up. It's common. So this front end says that we're finished. That's awesome. We're going to minimize this. Now we can go back to our Zelle wallet, and where it says Carolina Keith node 2 offline. First thing we do is check our blocks right here and see, do we have 100 blocks yet? We have 47 confirmations. We don't have 100. So I cannot start this node until this goes to 100, okay? I'm stuck. Got to wait. It's at 47, and what you'll see here is, click off of this on my wallet. If I go to the 3 dots right here just to the side, and I click this, start, won't start yet, okay? It's going to give me issues and tell me it can't go. All right, we have to wait. See? Failed to start Flux node 2. Why? Because we don't have enough blocks yet. If you look at this one, the first one over here, September 4th, where I'll set this other one up, 500 confirmations. She's ready to rock. She's been going, okay? But this one doesn't have enough yet, okay? All right, there's my putty again, sorry. Still waiting on 100 blocks. Once this hits 100 blocks, we can try to start this. Till then, no matter how many times I hit this, failed to start, okay? So now we wait for 100 blocks. Could take a while, you know, who knows, okay? So we'll see how long this takes. It's already almost 1:30 in the morning. Well, it actually is 1:30 in the morning. I may stop here and pick this up tomorrow and try to get this thing uploaded then, because I'm tired. I'm sick of sitting here waiting. You know what I'm saying? So I told you this stuff was frustrating and takes a while. Set aside some time to do this. Don't sit and get irritated with yourself because you've got to wait forever. There's nothing you can do. Okay? So we'll be back. All right. So it's been 8 hours. Fell asleep. Getting ready to go to church. So let's get this, see if it actually worked or not, okay? Let's go back to our node. Let her launch for a second. As you see, I'm doing this same time you are. I'm not trying to cheat you here. And we wait. I'm pretty sure it's going to work now. So we'll go through and we'll click start. And then we'll see that it says started. And then after it says started, then we'll see that it says confirmed after maybe 2 or 3 minutes. All right. Let's click and see if we've got 100 blocks. 286 confirmations. All we need was 100. So let's see if it works, okay? And start. Successfully started Flux node, Carolina Keith node 2. Excellent. Now, we're going to give this a little bit here. We'll see this changes to started, and then we'll see it changes to confirmed, okay? But there's nothing we can do to speed that up. So let's look at the chart real quick, all right? wanted to show you the chart. Zelle Cache, Flux Network. I got a couple of them here. We can try to find historical data on it. All right. So if we look at the big chart here, the full size chart on the weekly here, we have price targets upward of $1.20, 72 and 49 cents. And short term, we have prices of roughly same kind of thing, 57, 72, and $1. So I mean, this is weekly. I say short term. I mean a week or 2 or 3 or 4, and then the large pattern here, the large fractal, that could take a while to get up there. Either way, I like these returns a little bit better than pack. That's the reason I decided to make 2 of these instead of 1 pack node. Roughly the same money. Only I think there'll be better returns through this than there will be pack. I may do a pack node later. Just didn't seem like it was worth the money as compared to a Flux node. So, all right, let's see if we've changed our statuses over here. Nope, not yet. Nothing changed yet. So we're still waiting a little bit, and it's going to take about 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to do its thing, and we'll be right back. All right, as you see, it says started. Excellent. So again, we're a couple minutes away from it doing its thing. Still we wait. No problem. I don't mind. I have about 30 minutes here before we're leaving to head to church, so I got time to wait. I'm gonna be right back. I'm sorry for the green screen clipping in and out on me. I usually don't do videos in here in the day, so it's actually super bright in here, and I don't have the settings adjusted to where that normally would be, because I usually do this at night. So that's when I have free time. So again, wait just a little bit longer. All right, so a little bit of an update. As you see, it still says offline here. What actually happened was something went wrong with my server, and this is an interesting thing that comes up. I'm going to have to tell you about it because it's going to happen to you too. Maybe, maybe not, but it's possible. So occasionally the Contabo servers that we get aren't always running up to spec. There's a possibility they could be going not fast enough, too fast, whatever. So what I ended up having to do was go to my server and reset it on the Contabo end. And once I reset it on the Contabo end, things worked 3 times, 4 times as fast, and I had to reinstall everything. And I just reinstalled it all again. I just came back up and tested it one more time, and I actually put in a test code here, which I'll show you. This is back to the main screen right here, which was flux bench -cli get benchmarks. Okay, this is just one of the little commands that are in the code that you can run, that they tell you once you get your node finished. There's a whole bunch of different commands. You can check different things. And if I hit up, which was the last code I put in, and hit enter, it tells me that my Cumulus node is running and I have no errors. So I'm good on this end now. This didn't come up before. It said status unknown, and it put up an error, said couldn't find the node. Well, it's fixed now. So this was an interesting thing that popped up and told me that I had problems, because if I didn't see this happen, I'd have never known, and you would have known what the issues were. So as you can see, this is already popped back up to started. We'll give this a couple minutes to finish, and then we'll finish this off. All right, and finally, after about 10 minutes, right here we are, confirmed. It had to go through a few blocks of confirmations before it could actually confirm it. One cool thing you can do here is I have 2 nodes running. As you see, I'm going to click on the one we just created. It says Open Flux, right? See that? Now this kicks me over to another page over here, and it shows me, hey, look, it's up to date. It shows my stuff running. You can benchmark it from here. A lot of cool little features you can do. Again, I'm not going to get all into those. It's just neat that you can do them. Just really excited now because I've got both of them going. This video should be way easier for you to get your node running now. Again, if you have problems and you think you're not getting the same things that I just showed you, remember, you can, if you really need to, go to your Contabo control panel, reset your whole VPS, and start the process over. And I know that seems frustrating, but understand that you're early in the game here. And because you're early, there are going to be some hiccups. Things don't always work perfect. Talked with one of the admins today, and he kind of told me, hey man, these things are buggy sometimes. It takes a little bit of work to get them straightened out. So, hey, you know what? Can't be too frustrated with that. It's all good. So one more thing before we go here. I pulled up something important for you. So again, we've went over all of our stuff that we need. And here's some important information for you. This is the node script, and I'm going to put this in the description of the video so you can quickly grab it, just copy and paste it. And you'll have this to use inside your node as you're putting it into your putty and getting it to work, right? Obviously, there's a web page on the Medium page, but this is the exact same thing you need right here. You're just going to copy and paste, and it'll put it right in putty for you if you right click. And then you're going to need this because this is where your controlling is happening, okay? And also, hey, the rewards are paid daily. So I've already got some Flux. I think I've earned 5.5 for the half day that one node has been running. So pretty cool. I'm excited. I hope this works out for you. So from me to you guys, thank you for watching. I hope this video helps. If you need to contact me, I'm around. I'll try to answer every single question I get. Till then, we'll see you next video. Happy noding, Node Army. We'll see y'all later. Be good. Peace.